Come on in. What's up? What's good? What's poppin'? What's crackin'? What's percolating? What's really good in the hood? It is your man Theo Butler, and welcome to it. Yeah, we gonna get down to it. Voice Mark? This is what we doing episode. Before we begin, like, share, subscribe. If you like, leave a comment. If you don't like, leave a constructive comment. Why? Because if you know me, grow me, and sharing is caring, and constructive comments actually help. So, we gonna get this underway and everything like that. Shout out to Bonafide Jewels. Y'all make sure y'all check them out and everything like that. I'm not revealing your boy working on some push-ups and everything like that. I'm trying to get I can't say the dude name that I want to say because there's a lot of controversy going on. I'm trying to get, so I'm going to say somebody else, the dude that was with him in the movie, the dude that directed the movie. I'm trying to get my Michael B. Jordan on and everything like that, so I'm not going to do that. But anyway, y'all check out Bonafide Jewels and everything like that for the hottest jewelry and everything like that. That's bonafidejewels.com. Save 25% by using my promo code Ias-Ijs THEOB. And people always ask me what that stands for. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. That's I thought it was right there. You know, it's amazing how many people say, I ain't saying, I'm just saying, but don't know what them initials stand for. Anyway, so we get this thing on, Wakanda Forever, #1, I should say the only one. Marvel Voices, we got T'Challa on the cover, throwing up the Wakanda salute, Amazon salute, depending on who you at. But I brought to y'all the first story. And I'm gonna bring you to y'all the second story. I put the link to that video in the comment section. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. But I already covered the old ways, and I figured we needed some Black Panther content because we're not gonna get any for a while because you know we got a break. So I'm gonna do my best to fill in the void per se. So we go on Marvel Voices, Wakanda Forever, and the second story is titled "The Education of Changamire." And y'all be like, who the hell is Changamire? That is a great question. Actually, the counsel, the advisor for Azuri, the wise and everything like that, and he helped tutor T'Challa and everything like that. I think we actually got his initial introduction. Yeah, like yeah, Changamire. We got his initial introduction. He's created by Ta-Nehisi Coates, by the way. So shout out to the brilliant Ta-Nehisi Coates. Your characters are still thriving and everything. I definitely like that. But we got him in Black Panther Volume 6, Issue number 2, May 2016. And if I'm able to find that cover, it should be... Y'all see the cover? Y'all should see the cover, man. Come on. Y'all know how I get down. But anyway, so he's his advisor. And this guy got a nice little story arc during Ta-Nehisi Coates' run. Changamire was a Wakandan philosopher, the hand-picked tutor for King T'Chaka's royal court, and the personal mentor, of Queen Ramonda. His pacific yet anti-monarchical beliefs caused him to be exiled from the Golden City. He became a scholar at the Hekima Shule in Burning Azadia, where he continued teaching his gospel. Based on Changamire's doctrine, his former pupil, Tetu, name should ring a bell, amassed a revolutionary force known as the People in order to overthrow King T'Challa and wage war against his reign. Because of this, Changamire was visited by Ramonda, who wanted to investigate any possible link between Changamire and the People. However, Changamire repudiated this brutal revolution due to having renounced violence. Tetu later personally invited Changamire to join the People, but the old scholar refused, opposing the People's violent methods and expressing sorrow that his teachings paved the path to such bloodshed, ultimately accusing Tetu of being not too different from the same tyranny he opposed. When the People marched towards the Golden City, T'Challa visited Changamire to have him join his side. The Black Panther agreed that Wakanda needed to change, but not by the People's violent and bloody hand. Changamire initially claimed to be unable to offer advice to Black Panther, but T'Challa convinced him that he was the lesser evil. Crazy, used to tutor. Anyway, the Black Panther was a hero at heart who did not take joy from domination, unlike Tetu. Changamire conceded T'Challa's points and joined his side. When Tetu and the People marched towards the Golden City, Black Panther had Changamire speak out against Tetu's atrocities and broadcast it through the Komoyo bees. Changamire's speech greatly affected the People's efficiency, causing a large amount of their soldiers to break free from Zenzi's mental manipulation. Yeah, Zenzi that power set. Get you if you're upset, Zenzi gonna heighten that and make it worse. So after T'Challa, who had been transported across the Prime Marvel universe to where Wakanda had become a tyrannical intergalactic empire, returned home, Changamire was taken over by the symbiote that had formerly belonged to the intergalactic empire of Wakanda's deceased god Emperor N'Jadaka. Indwelled by the Emperor's consciousness, Changamire recruited Tetu and Zenzi in order to take revenge against T'Challa and once again attempt to conquer Wakanda. Okay, so y'all go like, Theo, you said all that to say what? The education of Changamire is right here. Now that I done gave y'all some backstory on Changamire, in this particular story, which takes place during 1934 in Burning Zana University, a young lady, I'm gonna call her a young lady, who actually has vibranium tattoos on her body, similar to Tosin's. Yeah, I caught that. Her name is Ioba, and she's teaching class. She's speaking about democracy. This is taking place during 1934. I'm gonna say 1934. American leaders speak of democracy. In Italy and Germany, they speak of the nation. In the USSR, they speak of the people. They all, in their own way, speak of human freedom. Which of these systems come close to honoring that ideal? So we got Changamire, who says none of them, for they are all barbarians. And to which Iyobu, she's the instructor, she's teaching this class. And is it your view, my young student, that Wakanda has been wise in ceding the world to barbarians who would bring it to the brink of an annihilation, perfected on our neighbors? Changamire replied, it only confirms the wisdom of our traditions. What would the colonizers do with our gifts but turn them toward this savagery? Iyoba responds, you are very confident in the wisdom of our traditions. Though you are only 13 and have known nothing else, what is the source of your certainty? Now, see, that's what I be talking about. What you basing your information on? How long you been alive to be so sure you know what you're talking about? There's quite a few of y'all that fall into that category. You know so much at the age you are, which is crazy because you talk to people that's older than you that's actually lived it. Whether they got it right or wrong, they've actually lived it. And you actually fix your mouth to tell them like you know more than they do. They understand. Crazy. That we actually put this in the story, The Education of Changamire, which is written by, I want to make sure I give them the credit. It is written by Adam Server. Todd Harris is responsible for the inks, and Jordy Belair is responsible for the colors. Adam Server teaching a nice little lesson to the younger folk. I'm here for it. And Changamire stuck because she like, yeah, you ain't 13. you real wise for somebody who been here for just 3 years, over a decade. You know a lot for somebody who been here for just a little over a decade. Enough that you telling somebody 3 times your age that, you know, hey, you know more than they do. Unless you're a reincarnated spirit, don't know how. Anyway, we go to the royal palace. Before we get to the royal palace, instructor Iyoba, she informs him, hey man, listen, you bright, you smart, but give it some time. See what you got going on before you just start throwing absolutes out here and everything, because you ain't been on earth long enough to be throwing out absolutes. Anyway, we go to the royal palace and we see T'Chaka. Actually, he and Changamire are getting into it, going through their training and everything like that. And I'm sorry, not T'Chaka, Azuri, because this is Azuri that he's training with. So that's how far we back with it. So he's training with Azuri and everything, and they're questioning the sentiments, because Azuri was in the class with him. They're questioning the story. They're questioning the lesson that Iyoba was teaching. And we get another Black Panther who's nameless. Nice costume. I'm gonna take a picture, load it up. Kind of looks like an owl in the face and everything, but I get it. Gold ornaments and everything. Would have loved to have known his name. It's never mentioned in this story, which ain't that long, so would have loved to have known his name. But anyway, he comes in and he basically says, he said, well, Changamire, my son will appreciate your wisdom. What he says, well said, Changamire, my son will appreciate your wisdom when he is king. And what he is saying to that in response to is when Changamire tells Azuri, that's who this is, you are too distracted. Someday you will be the Black Panther, the Avatar of Bash. Your duty is to uphold our traditions, not question them. Crazy, because as Changamire got older, that's all he did was question them. And it was based on this story as to why he questioned them. So Azuri's father walks in, the current Black Panther. He says, and given your age difference, no doubt his children will as well when they sit on the throne, as in Changamire will be advising T'Chaka and Sion. However, this is unusual talk. Iyoba is one of your professors, yes? Changamire says, T'Chaka, I'm sorry, Azuri. I keep getting it because I'm not used to saying Azuri. Azuri says, yes, father, how did you know? Changamire responds, Azuri, do you hear yourself? How could he not know? Superhuman cat-like abilities. He says, I've come to tell you that Iyoba has been arrested on suspicion of treason. That's what Azuri's father is saying. And the question is asked, what did she do? Did she raise an army in the countryside to conquer the Golden City? Azuri's father says, careful, Changamire. You do not know what you do not know. So we flash back to 1835 in Ethiopia. Iyoba has always loved Wakanda, but she has often questioned the authority of the throne. Decades ago, Iyoba was known as Incharu Salima, one of our best strategists. She sent information to Wakanda that the kingdom of Italy was preparing to invade Ethiopia. But she was not satisfied with spying. She took it upon herself to fight alongside the Ethiopians, convincing several of our war dogs to help. I mean, yeah, because if you think about that, Ethiopia was, if they being invaded by Italy, safe to say that if the war dogs ain't there, Ethiopia would have been outmanned and outgunned. So the war dogs' presence would have helped. So Iyoba wound up helping and everything like that. Tried to, make it do what it do. And when I say he's telling about the past story, she tried to sneak some vibranium out. That story sound familiar? She tried to sneak some vibranium out. She and the other radicals returned to face judgment. They were expelled from their respective orders for disobeying, but as they had not smuggled vibranium out of Wakanda, they were allowed to remain here. That's what he was trying to do. That's what they were trying to do. The Italians were trying to invade. So she was being arrested. And why was she being arrested? Because the Italians are invading again, and this time Iyoba tried to smuggle vibranium weapons to her charges. That story sounds real for me. I heard that story before. I did. Similar to the story we got in a movie and everything like that, but it's in the comic. It's gonna be canon and everything like that. And Aruba sentenced Iyoba, she's sentenced to death. And the look on the face of Azuri and Changamire. Now, Changamire is the younger one out of the two. So, like I said, Changamire is 13. So Changamire like, good God Almighty, Jesus, what's going on? Y'all gonna sentence the young lady to death? Azuri's father comes out and everything like that, and he ain't hearing it. He's like, hey, she gotta go. But Iyoba, she ain't hearing it either. She's talking. She's like, look, King comes out and says, you conspired to provide our weapons to a world that would use them to destroy itself. She tells him, she's not lying. They are doing that already. I will only give the wretched of the earth the means to defend their homes. We kind of heard this one before. Y'all remember the movie? I do. This is not our responsibility. Our responsibility is here. That's what Azuri's father's. Can we get Azuri's father's name? Like, golly, like, that's bothering me. I don't want to keep referring to this dude as Azuri's father. What is his name? Can somebody hit me up? Please, let me know his name. Thank you. She says, of course, a king is used to having a nation under his feet. A fascist simply wears a different pair of boots. And he asked, what would you have us do? Should we become an empire, place a suit of vibranium around the world? Somebody said a suit of armor around the world. No, I would give them the means to make a choice that we deny our own, even as we laugh at their backwardness. She's making some very valid arguments. And she's making these arguments. And sometimes we need to understand that sometimes when people got their back against the wall and they start talking, they're not talking to convince the person that's judging them. They're talking to convince the people that's watching, that's listening. That's how people tend to really become martyrs, because they know they're going to die, but their words are going to live on. So they make each word count. So she responds. He tells her, Azuri's father, now you question even the throne, our traditions. Perhaps you would like to scold Bast herself for lacking your wisdom. She says, is the throne so weak, our traditions so fragile, that they cannot bear questioning? The truth is the truth. You know, if the truth should be able to take any and all questions that come along, that come at it, because it's the truth. It ain't gonna change, right? But if the truth is fragile, then it's subject to collapse under pressure, thus not really being the truth. So someone tells her, my king, this is not a classroom seminar. We are not here to debate philosophy. Eyoba does not deny the charges. Our laws are clear. And the Azuri father says, I take no joy in this, Eyoba. Your name will be stripped from our records. The nation will only remember its absence. You were born Wakanda, but you will die in exile. And the sentence for treason is death. You know, crazy enough, she's not the only person I know that's been exiled from Wakanda. I don't know if his name is going to be stricken from the records, but I do know he got exiled from Wakanda. Wasn't sentenced to death, though. You see, my king, perhaps we and the barbarians are not so different. She talking to him. Azuri looks over as Changamire says, man, you only this quiet when you think. He's like, man, did she not truly try to spare her own life? Like, man, she ain't even trying to convince your dad not to kill her. Like what she got going on? And that's literally what Azuri ain't like, man, what you mean? What you talking about? He's like, Eyoba could have destabilized the entire country by revealing what she and the renegades did the first time. Instead, she remained quiet. What she did when she came back, basically, Azuri's father swept everything up under the rug because they didn't smuggle out any vibranium. He let them come back home and ain't really say nothing and everything like that. She could have busted doors wide open had she revealed that. She kept it chill. Azuri said, hey, man, Baba did say that she loved Wakanda. Baba. I like that. That's cool. Baba. Y'all don't know what that means? Look it up. B-A-B-A. Changamire says, man, I need to hear her answer. And he's like, wait. She get ready. She getting marched off and everything like that. And she greets him. Smile on her face and everything like that. She confident. You know, when you strong in your conviction, you don't really worry about the consequences. You really, really don't. Yeah, that's nice conviction. Changamire know what's going on. Like, hey man, well, you got the secrets and everything like that. Why you ain't spill the tea? And she basically lets him know if Wakanda is to change, it must be by her choice, not through political machinations. She must find a new path of her own volition. Changamire asks him, like, you'll die for that? When you love something enough, someone enough, you will die for them. She lets him know. She's like, young one, I became a teacher so that I could help students, especially the brilliant, arrogant ones like you, learn to ask the right questions, not to give them the answers. We find Azuri, Changamire, sitting outside. Azuri says, if Eyoba's sacrifice was necessary, then perhaps our traditions are not as infallible as we believe. Perhaps even kings must learn to ask questions. Look at the writing. Leaders ask questions. They don't just blindly follow. Then a wise king must have advisors who can help him find answers. That's what Azuri tells Changamire. Now, Azuri's father walks out. I still don't know his name. He's like, Yoba was correct about that much. And Changamire's like, then why did you have her executed, my king? And he said, hey, man, hey. I said a sentence was death. I never said she would be executed. We moved to Ethiopia. The Italians are crossing the border. We will defend ourselves against the invader to the last drop of blood. Do you believe the king? Do you believe we stand a chance? Our best hopes have never been with kings, but with ourselves. And we see Iyoba holding a rifle, shotgun, with the vibranium markers on arms and everything like that. It's cool. I think this story gives us some nice introspective into Changamire, why he did what he did, what he means to the people, and probably is letting us know, as I read to you earlier, he's possessed by the symbiote. Let me go back to it. Let me check his current status. He's alive. So maybe giving us this story in regard to Changamire, we're going to see him in the symbiote in Eve Ewing's upcoming Black Panther run. Who knows? I'm looking for it. Bring back these characters that the writers have brought in and everything like that. So hit up the links and everything like that. Go check them out. Hit me up in the comment section. Tell me what you think. And yes, tomorrow I will be bringing you Remember the Name. Third story in Black Panther. Wakanda Forever. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Peace. Oh, hey, don't do that. Before you go, click that like button. Click that like button. It helps. We trying to do big things. We on our way to 1,000. Click that like button. Share it amongst your friends and everything like that. And come on in and get some of this Black Panther content. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Peace.